Hey guys, welcome back to A Story with Rory. I'm your host, and this episode is called The Unidentified Hovering Object. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. This was about 2021, sometime in the fall. My wife and I were driving back from some errands that we were running, and we hopped on the turnpike to get home because it would be faster. And then within maybe not even 5 minutes driving, my wife's like, "What is that to your left?" And I'm like, "I don't see anything." So we get closer to it. She's like, "No, that black dot right there. What is it?" And I was like, I glanced to my left, and I just saw this black circle floating in the air, or not floating, but just like hovering in the air, like not even moving. And it was a pretty windy day that day, and the trees were all moving around with the wind. And this thing was just sitting there. It was a ball. It was like a black ball. No propellers, no nothing that would keep this thing up in the air. And it just wasn't moving whatsoever. It was about 30 to 40 feet off the tree line, I would say. And, it was just stuck there. And so my wife's just staring at it, like can't process what she's seen. And same for me. I couldn't process it either, but I was still driving. So every once in a while, I would kind of look in my side view and glance at the object, and it just wasn't moving. And I'm just like, it's not a drone. It doesn't have any propellers. It's not a balloon. There was literally nothing underneath it. It was just like stuck about 30, 40 feet above the tree line and like right off the highway. I mean, you could see it. It had to have been no more than maybe like 100 or 200 feet away from us. So I wish I would have just stopped the truck and got out, took my cell phone and started recording what I saw. But at the same time, it's like my brain could not process what I was looking at. And so we get home, and I just kind of had this weird feeling like maybe someone's just out there experimenting with something. I don't know what. And I told my wife, I was like, we should just go back out there and drive around, see if we can kind of make sense of this or whatever. So we went ahead, hopped back in the truck, went out there, and there was like a local gun range in the woods over by there. No one was there. And there was like an AT&T tower that said "Do not enter," um, you know, had that sign or whatever for trespassers. So nothing that would have related to what we saw for sure. And I'm just driving around there, and I'm thinking in my head, like, if it was truly something that someone was doing that was man-made, um, it'll definitely be back sometime. Like someone's going to be messing with it, playing around with it, whatever. It was something that someone did. And so I've driven by that same spot for 2 years now, and not once have seen, actually more than 2 years, a little over 3 years now, and haven't seen a black sphere just sitting there above the tree line. Like I don't know, but all I remember is that the sides were flat, like straight up and down, and the top and the bottom were rounded. And it was definitely metallic. It was metal, and it was like a matte black. It wasn't shiny. It was just kind of like that matte finish, like the unfinished finish. And the weirdest thing is I just couldn't process what the heck am I looking at. Like it's just like this black metal thing in the sky. And my wife said something about how it looked like it had like ridges for like sharp ridges on the sides. I don't know, like wing looking things. I don't know. I didn't really see that because I was paying attention to the road when I was driving, but at the same time, just remember black and metal and round. So I thought about going to like UFOreporting.com or whatever the major website is and making a report of it, but nothing had been reported in that area ever. And I was like, well, maybe if something's been reported, maybe I'll go ahead and just add this to the list. But there wasn't anything on there. And I was like, well, I don't want anyone to think I'm a quack. So I told my wife, I was like, we know what we saw, and it's just something that we just can't explain or whatever. So I don't know if you guys watching, if you've ever seen anything like that, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below. On YouTube, and if you're watching on Instagram or Twitch, drop a comment below on there too. If you guys have ever seen something like that, that'd be great because then we could like try to make some sense of what, me and my wife saw. But yeah, to this day, I still don't know what it was, and I know people see things in the sky all the time, but this was just weird. And then like I want to say it was maybe 3 to 6 months later, there was this viral video going around from a pilot in an airplane, and I guess he saw like this black square shape or cube shape, an identified flying object flying past the plane, like way lower elevation than what he was flying at. And, it was a pretty big controversial video of like, what the heck could that be? But when I saw that video, it was kind of like bringing back what I saw that day with my wife. I was like, dude, this is totally like the same thing we saw. I mean, it was pretty close. It wasn't a square, but ours was like circular shape. But yeah, I don't know. It was crazy. It was wild. Like, I just can't explain it. But like I said, if you guys have seen something like that, something close to that, of what I'm describing, feel free to drop it in the comment section. And I do appreciate all you guys watching. And please hit that subscribe button and that bell on my YouTube and stay tuned for more content. Definitely can't wait to see you guys on other videos and be able to provide more content for you guys and more longer lasting videos. A lot of this stuff I've just set up my YouTube channel and I'm just getting everything kind of plugged into where it needs to go. And I need all y'all's support from you guys. You guys make this happen for sure. I'm not paid. I'm not sponsored by anybody. Everything I do comes out of my own pocket, and I just like to do this. I like to have people on my show. And also wanted to mention, if you have a interesting, weird, strange story, that's something that's just odd or something you can't explain, feel free to send me a comment in the comment section below or an email to a storywithrory@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to hear your story and possibly have you on the show, on the podcast. So until next time, I will see you guys soon. Okay, take care, and we're out.